Hi guys, in this video we're looking at the recovery of Weimar Germany from 1924 up until 1929 from the Germany topic in your exams. Let's jump in. On your screen now is the timeline of the recovery of Weimar Germany. The story begins in August 1923 when Gustav Stresemann becomes Chancellor. However, it's in November of the same year that he becomes Foreign Minister and is put in charge of rebuilding Germany's international status. Over the coming years, there's a series of political, economic and social changes in Weimar Germany that help contribute to its golden years. This is due to factors like the Dawes Plan, the Locarno Treaties, the Kellogg-Briand Pact and the Young Plan. After Stresemann dies in 1929 and the Wall Street crash happens, the golden years of Weimar Germany come to an end. Let's begin with Stresemann's first policies as the Foreign Minister of Germany. The first thing he did was call off passive resistance of the Ruhr. This meant that goods began to be produced in the region again. The government stopped paying the wages of striking workers, and this reduced the need to print more money, and therefore helped the inflation crisis. Stresemann also restarts the reparation payments, and so France and Belgium leave the Ruhr by 1925. He also introduces a new currency, the Rentenmark, to stabilise prices by limiting the number of notes in circulation. And he massively reduces government spending by making 700,000 employees redundant. The Dawes Plan of 1924 is negotiated by Stresemann. Under this plan, Germany loans 800 million marks from the USA to help pay back the reparations. The terms are that Germany must pay back 1 billion marks per year for the first 5 years, and then 2.5 billion marks per year each year after that. The Treaties of Locarno in 1925 were also negotiated by Stresemann. They were signed by Germany, Britain, France, Belgium and Italy. All parties accept Germany's western borders, and the treaties renounce the use of invasion and force. While Germany also signs arbitration treaties with Poland and Czechoslovakia. These treaties ensure that any future conflicts over territory are resolved by a third party, a tribunal. The fact that France also respected their borders meant there was no more Ruhr invasions. The Treaties of Locarno improved relations between Germany and its neighbouring countries. The treaties encouraged hope of resolving future disputes peacefully, in the spirit of Locarno, as it was said. The impact of the Treaties of Locarno on international relations for Germany is highlighted by Germany's admittance into the League of Nations in 1926. The Allies also left Cologne, which reduced tensions for Germany. And the success of Locarno is also highlighted by the fact that the Nobel Peace Prize was given to the lead negotiators, Neville Chamberlain in 1925, and Aristide Briand and Gustav Stresemann the following year. The Kellogg-Briand Pact of 1928 was an international agreement between 62 countries, including Germany and the US. These countries agreed not to use war as a method of solving international disputes. Germany was viewed as an equal partner in this, unlike the Treaty of Versailles. This symbolised a degree of respect and trust from other countries towards Germany. However, some Germans were critical of this pact, as it failed to reverse any of the sanctions set out in the Treaty of Versailles. The Young Plan of 1929 cut Germany's total reparations from 6 billion to 2 billion by loaning money from the USA. It also gave Germany longer to pay back these reparations. So what were the economic improvements for Germany? Well, by 1928, industrial production levels were higher than pre-war levels. Exports rose 40% between 1925 and 1929. Hourly wages rose annually from 1924 to 29, and benefit schemes were introduced in Germany from 1927. However, not all industries recovered. For example, agriculture did not recover to pre-war levels. Also, the budget's deficits weren't great. Germany spent more on imports than exports, and spent more than they received in taxes. Unemployment actually increased to 1.9 million in 1929, and of course, one of the biggest limitations, Germany was reliant on the USA with their loans. During this period, life improved for Germans, and perspectives of the Weimar government changed. The working class saw a number of positive changes. Unemployment insurance was introduced in 1927. Wages rose year on year, and 2 million new homes were built between 1924 and 1931. Women also saw their political representation improve, as 112 women were elected to the Reichstag between 1919 and 1932. Female employment also increased, new sports clubs and societies were set up, and the laws around divorce were relaxed. There was also an expansion of culture in Weimar Germany during this time. Bertolt Brecht, one of the most famous playwrights of all time, rose to success during this period. The Bauhaus School of Design was also established. Famous films like Metropolis were created. And the cabaret culture of Berlin blossomed and still exists today. There were some groups who weren't so happy in this period, one of which is the middle class. They felt ignored as policies were mostly aimed at the working class. This did cause some resentment. Another unhappy group were the right wing. They believed the societal and cultural relaxation in Weimar Germany was destroying traditional family values, while others thought traditional culture in Germany was being lost with these new movements. Let's run through those top banned phrases on this topic. During the golden years of the Weimar Republic, living standards improved due to the work of Stresemann and his advisors. Under Stresemann's leadership as Chancellor and later Foreign Minister, Germany created new domestic and international policies to help Germany recover from its post-war economic crisis. Germany managed to renegotiate their reparation payments by borrowing money from the USA in both the Dawes Plan 1924 and the Young Plan 1929, both of which helped Germany's economy to recover from the hyperinflation crisis. Meanwhile, Germany's international relations were improved through the Locarno Treaties of 1925 and the Kellogg-Briand Pact of 1928. The agreements on European frontiers and the renunciation of invasion and force represented a new era of international understanding and commitment. In the spirit of Locarno during the interwar years, European leaders had genuine belief that international disputes could be settled peacefully in the future, and Germany can be respected and trusted as a European power. Meanwhile, political support for the Weimar government improved due to societal and cultural changes in Germany happening at the time. New welfare benefits, housing projects and rising wages helped the working class to improve their living standards, while Germany began to expand its influence in the arts, music and literature. Women also gained more freedoms and greater access to public life through increased representation and the gradual relaxation of traditional gender roles in German society. Nonetheless, we must be careful not to overstate the golden years of Weimar Germany, as Germany's economy became entirely dependent on American loans, while right-wing and middle-class support for the Weimar government diminished during this period. Furthermore, the spirit of Locarno was short-lived, as the conflicting interests of the European powers resurfaced in the 1930s. Hitler's remilitarization of the Rhineland in 1936 was a direct violation of the Locarno Pact's reiteration that the Rhineland must remain demilitarized, according to the terms of the Treaty of Versailles, 1919. Now let's run through some common exam questions on this topic. Outline 2 features of the Dawes Plan 1924. Well, this plan by Stresemann included Germany loaning 800 million marks from the USA. They had to pay back 1 billion marks per year for the first 5 years, and then 2.5 billion marks per year after that. Describe 2 ways in which the German economy improved between 1924 and 1930. We spoke about many themes earlier. You can talk about reparations, industrial production, exports, wages, benefit schemes. There's many different things happening economically for Weimar Germany during this period. Next, to what extent did Stresemann's policies recover Germany's economy? We'll use my key points we just went through to help you answer this question and look at both sides here. As I stated in the key points, Stresemann played a crucial role in improving standards in Germany. However, because of the reliance on the loans from the USA and the Wall Street crash happening in 1929, the economic impact of Stresemann's policies is short-lived. And finally, which of the following was more significant for the recovery of Weimar Germany, the Rentenmark or foreign loans and investment? Well, the Rentenmark stabilized prices in Germany and limited the number of notes in circulation, which helped to improve the hyperinflation crisis. This replaced the previous currency in Germany that had led to extortionate prices, like a loaf of bread costing 200,000 million marks. Meanwhile, foreign loans, initially from the Dawes Plan and later from the Young Plan, did help Germany to start paying back the reparations and take back control of the Ruhr. However, when the Wall Street crash happens and the USA recalls their loans, Germany is economically vulnerable, as it's become completely reliant on the loans from the USA. This brings us to the end of the recovery of Weimar Germany. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.